Hey guys, King Gath here with another patch for Sim Settlements 2. This is patch 1.0.2, which I'm calling Commercial Paradise. Now, before we get into why that is, we got to give a shout out to our patrons. You guys have been joining up faster than I can keep up with the shout outs. The list just keeps on growing. This is incredible and awesome, and I want to shout out to a handful of you. So I will get, and those of you who I don't cover today, I will get to you in a future video, I promise. So shout out to Hayden Birch, Alex Herman, Kale, Psyche, Michael Abel, Moss, Nigel Tallywhacker, Artem Kazirenko, who I'm sure I butchered that one, Kuliba, Scott Salmon, Kyle, Brett Atkinson, Commander Harrington, Captain, Canisking, I Hate Preston, I don't really hate you, Preston, Patrick Heminger, and Foxel. And thank you to all of you guys for helping out, and thank you to everybody else who's joined up for the Patreon since we started talking about and launching SS2. It has been an overwhelming response, and I'm really excited what we're going to be able to do going forward. So let's talk about some of the stuff we did immediately. And the big thing, and you can see I'm actually in game today, not just showing you stock footage in the background, and that is because I want to demonstrate this. So one of my favorite features of the base game is the way the Diamond City merchants work. They're all kind of acting like carnival barkers, trying to lure you into their shops.
To the head? Ringing in your ears? Have the uncontrollable urge to blow chunks? You just might have a concussion.
So that is one of our little barks from a character named Teresa. And so we've added in this bark system as well as custom barter dialogue for a bunch of our off-main quest NPCs. Up, huh? So Teresa here is someone you meet during our main quest line, and eventually you can recruit her to join your settlement. And she is one of those characters. The other ones would be characters like Old Paul and Lily, and if you've done the Came from Planet X or Grey Matters quests, the characters that you recruit from those. So any of our main characters that you met off of our main quest all will have this, and they when you assign them to a commercial plot, they will have not only barks to try and lure you in, so you can set up kind of a nice commercial district to lure people into your area and make it really feel like a market, but they also have the custom barter dialogue. And we've taken it one step further, and that's that most of those characters will have 2 or 3 shop types that they specialize in, where they actually have unique lines of dialogue specific to that shop type when they're doing their little carnival barking routine. So if you want to experiment and try and figure out which character, we tried to make them fit the personality of the character, but sometimes it was just, we just had some funny lines or interesting lines that would make sense with the character we decided to write. So check those out. I love this feature. I hope we continue to add it to more and more characters in the future, because it really brings your commercial districts to life, and it makes these characters feel more alive. And as you can see, we've even got a full doctor clinic type system with all the different lines that are required to run this. So definitely check this out. I'm really excited about it, and I would like to see it grow in the future. All right, so beyond this custom vendor situation, which I'm going to actually walk away from because it's going to distract me while I'm recording the rest of this. But some other things to talk about in this particular patch. We added a lot of little quality of life and interesting improvements throughout. Tons of bug fixes. I know a lot of you guys got stuck on the quest hub of the problem. Now on PC, we were able to put out a hotfix on our forums everybody could grab, but for Xbox players, that's a little more problematic. So apologies that you guys have been sitting waiting for that quest to get finished. But that should, in air quotes, fix itself as soon as you load up your patch if you head back to the location where things got stuck. If it doesn't, you're going to want to roll back to a save before that quest started to get these new fixes into place. We also did a lot of side quest fixes, so I know there were a handful of side characters that the quest turn-ins weren't working for, so that should be all fixed. And one of the most important parts of this patch is we included a lot of the stuff the future add-on makers for SS2 are going to need you to have. So as many of you may have seen in my news video on Wednesday, we dropped the Add-on Makers Toolkit for Sim Settlements 2, which adds all sorts of tutorials and possibilities for people to inject new content for SS2. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the different mods that people release for SS2 now that we've put out that toolkit. And we're actually going to have multiple waves of that toolkit with new stuff coming out to show you how to do even more stuff with SS2. There was so much to cover, I just couldn't possibly find the time to write up all the tutorials in the time span since we released, and so I'm planning on doing it in a few phases, so watch out for more of those. But if you plan on using any new SS2 add-on packs, you're going to want to make sure you have this patch, and I think you're probably going to want to grab the patches every time just because I'm fixing so many issues. And I'm going to continue to fix those issues. If you want to participate in that, you want to make sure your issues get fixed, head to the simsettlements2.com, click on the forums in the upper right, and post your issues there, or search and see if somebody else has already had them, and then you can add your weight to that post. We've got a squad of people that are combing through the forums, looking for issues, and trying to replicate them so that they can relay them to me so that I can get things fixed as quickly as possible. Now, we are moving into development of Chapter 2, and a lot of you guys have been curious about when the next drop for that story content is. It's going to be a little while. These do take quite a while to do, and we want to hopefully have a more thoroughly tested Chapter 2. I know a lot of you guys got stuck in the main quest right away, and I don't want that to happen again, so it might take a little bit of time, but we will keep you guys posted. We'll drop a trailer, etc. when we're ready for that, but we are moving in development of that, which means that my time is going to be split between patchwork and development for the next chapter. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to hotfix quite as rapidly as I was in the first month, but I will continue to do those as necessary, and I will continue to put out those public beta patches because it's really been helpful to get feedback from more than just our testing team, for people who are in the wild using crazy mod load orders to let us know if these patches that we're developing are actually doing what they're supposed to. Well, final thing for the patch video is, of course, giving away that t-shirt. So this week we're going with the hashtag thankful because for those fellow Americans, we just had Thanksgiving yesterday, and yeah, I'm feeling thankful. And so here's what we're gonna do. Instead of just a comment about random stuff, let's include with your hashtag a comment about something you're thankful for in SS2 that wasn't in SS1. And that way I can relay that to the person who created it or came up with it, and they will be very ecstatic to hear it. With a big team, it can sometimes, well, I shouldn't say often, it can sometimes feel like you're just a cog in the machine, and I'd love to share some love with specific team members. So if you've got something you're super thankful for in SS2, post that with the hashtag thankful, and on probably Monday, I will do a drawing of one of those comments, and I will send you a Sim Settlements t-shirt. So, cool. All right, guys, take care, and enjoy the mods.